So, turns out that this piece isn't going to fit with the seats installed, but I did come up with an idea. So the cool thing about making the two trim pieces is, you know, if I ever want to show off the actual stereo system, I can take these seats out and then I can have that full piece of trim that'll cover up this entire section here. So I'm going to mark on this piece here where I want to have the magnets. I'm going to mark them on the front. It'll be transferred to the back side. So I use a small drill bit to drill through each of these pieces. So now I have everything marked. Drill through the front here, and the back is where I'm going to mount the magnet. This piece is about the size of the magnet, so it'll go about right here. Same thing with all the other holes. I drilled through this piece so I could get it on this other trim piece. So I think I'm just going to have 2 sets of magnets here. I don't need to put the third set at the bottom. So the next thing I'll do is I'm going to use this rabbiting bit to cut a groove in the bottom. This is where I'm going to have the LEDs attached. So I'll have it on this side and then this side, and the other LEDs are going to go at the bottom right over here. On the bigger piece, I'll do it the same way. I'll have the LEDs going across here on the other side, but on here I'll have it going throughout the whole inside. And I guess I could also have it at the bottom here as well. Now, it's pretty important to plan ahead when you do projects like this, and there is one thing I did not do that is pretty important. I need to cut a step into this wood so I can attach the material around to the back. If I don't do that, then this piece won't be able to sit flush and the magnets won't make full contact. I'm going to go back and do that. The only things I have to be mindful of is where these magnets are, because I don't want to cut too far in and hit the magnets, because that would be pretty bad. So I did mess up on the bigger piece here. I had a bearing too small, so it cut in too far, but I don't think it should be too big a deal. The next thing I have to do is I'm going to do a 45-degree chamfer around the edge of the entire piece, and that should be the last of the wood cutting that I'll need to do. And I'll also have LEDs on the inside of the main board, the one that goes around the woofer. So I'm going to cut a track around the inside part. And just to finish this off, I'm going to put a 45 on this edge right here. The next thing I'll do is try to find a route for my wires to connect these LED strips together. I did this with the last build that I did, my old Civic. I used these magnets and I actually used them kind of like electrical contacts. So I had them mounted in the board and then also mounted in the trim piece. So when you put the pieces together, so that was how I was able to get power to the trim pieces that weren't fully attached to the beauty panel. So I ended up drilling a hole through the side here just so I could get the wire through. I'll probably just fill that in with some wood filler. The next thing I need to do is just drill the holes for those magnets for the contacts I was talking about. Doesn't look like much right now, but I got all the wires running through. Next thing I'm gonna do is get those magnets to use as the electrical contacts and solder them to this end right here. And then the rest of the slack is what I'll pull out to connect to the LEDs. So as much as I wanted to use the color changing LEDs, I ended up having issues with it. When I connected them, it would either not pass the 12 volt to the next strip when I spliced them, or one strip would work right with the colors changing and then the other one wouldn't. So I'm just gonna go back to the basics, what I'm used to, and just go with a solid color. And that will be a daylight white. It's a 6000K LEDs. Just to make up for any gap that there'd be between the magnet, I actually put a little bit of solder on there, and that'll help make the connection. Got it plugged into this connector, and I'm gonna connect it and we'll see what we got. Plug that in. All right. If it's lined up right, all I have to do is just put this middle piece in. Well, this is what it looks like at night, but I think it'll look a little bit different once I get everything wrapped. So that'll actually be the next thing that I do. But thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video. That'll really help support the channel, and hope to see you back next time.